Hello everyone, this is Fantastic Worlds. Welcome you back to Lovecraft Country and Cultist Simulator Exile, the road trip version. Okay, so we're currently in Stalingrad, which of course has, a number of issues. Not only is it remote, as this is, Russia 1925, not exactly the center of civilization. It has a cult of the colonel. It is a place of residence and troubled because, the whites, aka the loyalists to the original Tsarist Empire, despite not having a Tsar, still are a faction out there. I'm not entirely sure what they're fighting for, but they're fighting for it. So, if we really wanted to, we could cause some trouble there. But first of all, we need to talk to Zulfia the Barber and begin her mission. Arrange for the Zulfia, who is known nowadays as the Barber, which means that she is, of course, a cultist of the moth, because the whole thing about barbers and the moth is that it's supposed to represent as close as humans can get to the metamorphosis that is the uh, going into a pupa and turning from a caterpillar to a moth or a butterfly. I don't get it myself, really. Zelphia fastens onto me eagerly. I want you in the wood, she insists. Bring what you find to drink below the knottingwood knot. The knotwing knot nest. Yeah, this is definitely Chaos Cultist. This is a dark wood that presses against the windows of the sleeping mind, which basically means that it's where the wood intersects in an overlap, hey, Alan Wake 2 reference, in an overlap between the wood and our reality. There is a nest in the branches woven of black silk and white hair. Zolfi has prepared a feast for me to take there tonight and ink something on my skin and my back, which she claims is a map I must not see. Yeah, this is definitely chaos. Now, the thing about this mission is that it's interesting, but I need to generate at least for the last mission 12 lantern or 12 moth. Now, it's kind of funny. I'm about to get a one moth. There you go. I'm about to get a one moth in. No, that's actually lantern. One lantern. God, I forgot what these are called. It's been so long. Influence, and that's not going to be enough. So how would I manage to get 12? Well, 6 of it come from her, and technically I could do 3 of these, but I'm only going to put 4 cards total, and that winter 8 will not be able to generate. So question again becomes, I kind of wish we really could. The winter shouldn't. Where's the damn blade again? Ah, it's up here. Yeah, I thought we might have winter to it because we're taking a winter temple. I mean, obviously putting him in would produce everything I needed. For any form of winter, but then I still have to generate the moth. So how to generate moth with only 12 with only 3 cards? Starting with 6 here, so we need to generate a total of 6 among 3 cards. Purity is an ingredient, so we account for 2. And that's the problem. Let's see. Do we have any moth up here? None whatsoever. More winter than I need, but Grail. Grail would actually get past the first 2 things. Don't need more Grail. God, I got a lot of Grail. More Grail than I realized I had. Now, is anything in Stalingrad that we can purchase? According to the list, let's see. An unsettling doll, but I think we already have that. No, actually, it's a moth curio. So we need to go find a moth curio. Oh, good lord. One of the curios. That would actually probably do it. So I guess the solution to everything is going to be shopping. All right, let's hit the markets of Stalingrad, see what we can find, shall we? Also, I should probably get my money back in my next destination, but again, I'm not exactly in a hurry, so here we go. And let's fast forward, since basically everything kind of relies on the shop. Now, again, we can't really generate much lantern. The best lantern we have here is 8. But then we can't generate the other 4 easily anyways. There you go. I mean, there's 1 right there, but it's literally just 1. You can grow an ability? Oh, right, that's just back on the old Cultist Simulator game. Sigh. Yes, to the market. White warehouse, not interested. Okay, a lot of You notice how many warehouses you've been getting lately? I mean, I'm not really into smuggling at this point, which, is pretty easy to do. Rush, just bribe the right people. Am I talking about the present or 1925? I think they both count at this point. Alright. That would actually do it. Okay, so what we need is that this needs to go for 14 seconds. So what we need is we need to immediately, I mean immediately, start the mission. So the Underworld Nest here, but what we can do is put the resource in immediately. Now that's going to give me the winter I need for the first mission. So there we go. Get in, get the goods. We'll do that in the depths of night. Now, since I've solved the first mission, I'm going to give you the description of it. The way to where I go requires something like a ritual or a feast. I'd like to think of it as a party, though it's not the kind of party I'd choose. I need to keep a level head, weird intoxicants or not. If I can't, I'll come back with nothing more than interesting than a hangover. All right, so what that means basically is we're dealing with the Fae. Not exactly mentioned, but it would make sense that the immortals of the forest would be the Fae, or at least Fae-ish. The Fae of the Slavic cultures are considerably different than the later westernized ones, which were made much gentler. Okay, I've used patience. Now, we have a total of 4 here. Going to need, first of all, for the next one, an 8 of winter. So or a moth of 8. So we can actually just put her in. That'll bring it up to a 10, and then we can put in 1 obscurity for the next one. Now, like I said before, I will simply read them as we go. That ordeal was known as a feast. Which basically means is that we kind of pretend winter basically means that we patiently don't eat anything we're not supposed to. That's with the Fae. You really don't want to eat the wrong thing. It can get bad real quick. Sometimes it means you can't come home anymore. My guess about that is that the Fae biology is radically different than that of our reality, and if you bring their food into our reality, it turns to poison real fast. Also, we should probably just get the doll over here. Unique items are good. It might actually have a comfort point, but probably doesn't. Still only at 10. We need 12 for the second tier ending for comfort. All right, there you go. Another complication. Now, this complication is the bosk. I'm not exactly sure what the hell that means, but thorned, caressing branches, the scent of darkest greens, furred movements beneath my hand, the black and beating darkness, the wood runs close beneath the skin of the world. Basically, we've been accessing it using smoke and mirrors trickery. Basically, we've used the moth aspect to be able to blend in with the rest of it. Winter would mean patience. We would just wait for these challenges these monsters or Fae spirits or whatever to go. And Lantern would be we drive them off with light, which would be another way of doing it. But we've chosen to become one with the darkness. I think Enigma will be sufficient. Yep. We can just don't have to fill this one here. We can just use obscurity, just confirming that it is a 2. And there we go. All right. Underworld connection. No. Try again. So we should okay. So there we go. We actually buy a mansion in Stalingrad. Would that be smart to do in the Communist Revolution? Probably not. I don't think you can actually. Like all of the good stuff's just snapped up by the party. Still being used by the party, by the way. For example, I believe that Putin is currently occupying the palaces, the Tsarist palaces. I mean, nothing's really changed in that regard, politically speaking. Let's see. Okay, so the complication, enigma, ordeal. There are 2 ways to understand everything and understand nothing. We're actually, the first time we did this, we used Lantern, we're using the book. But this time around, we are actually going to use chaos instead of order in order to get through. All right, there it is. The unsettling doll. Okay, cool. Finally. And it only cost 1. There we go. We will see if that in fact is. I love the fact that the obscurity finally became useful, basically, and the fact that I am literally no one. I can actually answer that too. No, it is not actually. It doesn't actually have it. It smells like unopened room. Somehow I keep thinking it's changing shape when I look at it, but I never catch it in the act. Okay, so we have a weeping angel for a memento. I was hoping it would have some level of comfort. In any case, also kind of hoping that we get the wolf shadow so we can just burn this place down too. All right, let's go. We'll need a radical connection. So it's just reconnecting with either, and this is kind of crazy, the whites or possibly the old Leninists. I think this is after Stalin betrayed Lenin and took over. And you might have some old school actual philosophical communists as opposed to people who are in totalitarians just using the concept. Let's see. Let's go watch the dawn, shall we? And we shall think of peace. Because defiance means I can't leave. Although, given the amount of packing I have to do, and speaking of which, I should really get my ticket out of here before I spurt the place on fire. I'm not even sure why I'm doing it these days. I think it's just because, well, I am a god of war, and that's kind of how I think. I mean, not quite Kratos, god of level of war, kind of more safely away with my haul. The fluttering goo. When I woke from the wood, this is what I found in the sealed bottle beside my bed. So potentially that was a dream journey that she sent us on. Didn't actually happen. Alright. So, what we need to do is we need... Alright, dreaming. Makes sense. We had to use her for the thing, so she's going to have to recover first. Oh well, it means we're not going anywhere for a while. The Fane of the One-Armed. The abandoned grain silo has adopted by a secret cult honoring an odd hero, the one-armed Briton who stormed the city for White Russians alone in a single tank. Anybody know what that reference is? Because I honestly would love to know what that legend is. I mean, he didn't win, but perhaps now he has a name. Perhaps he's only dead, but those who've entered the Colonel remember him. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, technically fighting for the establishment, no matter what you think about it, he's a colonel. Therefore, he would have fought for the Tsars simply because they were, in fact, the thing on my mind. You know what? We're gonna be here a while, so why not just have simultaneous rage? I clench my fist, feel the strength in them. The time is coming when I'll stop running sooner than they think. Well, I already did that. Sigh, doesn't update. All right, so don't think there's much else for me to get here. Probably should just get the cash at this point. Fury. Now that is basically it's edge and heart, and it means I can't leave for 280 seconds. But you know, I'll live. Get that up there. Love the picture. Beware the fury of a patient man. Oh, that's a beautiful way of saying it. When you are patient, you are a dangerous thing. All right, so actually no, let's get the cash back, really. All right, let's get the cash. See how we're going next after we turn Stalingrad into a crater. I will point out, by the way, I'm not actually in this game. This isn't actually personal. It's just, you know, what this guy does. I mean, we saved one place, and honestly, I don't think he felt like it was right because to oppose his father, who's a creature of order, he would probably have decided to go chaos, you know. At the very least, you can consider it possibly to be a phase to go through. Ah, there we go. Finally got the barber back. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this one. I mean, we can go there anytime, but the only thing that we could do is either dedicate ourselves or try to upgrade that. We can get if we try to upgrade, all we will get is, in fact, a vitality, which we can use to heal ourselves, but we're not really fighting it. Ninzin Novigrad. Soskin of the Athenians has kept his import-export operation he had running, but it's difficult in the Soviets, as people there might be glad of my help. Yeah, I mean, I think it's another remote place, and the cult of the Colonel, another troubled zone. Yeah, the thing is that the Colonel will be transferring his... The Colonel will be transferring his allegiance to the Soviets at this point, because they are... Where is it? Where is it? Are we a little impatient? Ah, another recruit for my anti-reckoners, which I have yet to actually think of a title for, or a purpose for that matter. Just, you know, getting like the Avengers together, and there's no Loki to go against. The mother pierces, Sophia says conversationally tugging at her with fingernails. The sister, which demands, and the sister dissolves. Which and sister, we haven't actually covered that much, are a pair of linked, literally, hours, one of which is hung... They tend to... I'm trying to explain them to be difficult. They require their own episode, I think, of Hush House lectures to go over. But they're essentially two halves of the concept of chaos, one consuming, and one stitching. It's look at that. The mother pierces, by the way, is an interesting one as well. Which mother they're referring to? I believe it's the mother of ants, which is the one who pierces through doorways. But she's now currently an ally, which means we have her, and we can probably consider leaving anytime I decide to, get over myself. Now, let's see. We still need those radicals. Let's go get them. Now, while we're here, we might as well just toss the cash ahead of us, because I did check there is no mansion here to purchase, which is unfortunate. Oh, God, I wanted to buy the Winter Palace so badly. I got the cash for it. I'm pretty sure that the Soviets will be all that, but they're all about nationalizing things. You just can't, own anything around them. You, I wanted. Still need those radicals, however. Yeah, I'm just going to go around. I mean, we already have a communist revolution in London, so let's have an anti-communist revolution in Stalingrad in 1925. Let's just totally mess up the timeline. Sigh. Anyways. Freezing winds. Yeah, what are the odds? Freezing winds in Russia. Now I need to get that done out of the way while we're waiting. The one-armed Briton. I honestly, if there is a story behind it, for God's sake, somebody tell me, because it sounds so interesting. Radicals, there we go. Oh, I still got a year kicking around. Hi, I'm totally not gonna. I'm totally here to help you. All right. Now what we need, and done. We will use our connections to assist in uprising. Alliance and city. I'm gonna double check and make sure we get nothing that we want here. Yep, we've got it. Okay, but hey, get back here. I want to. No, I don't want to provoke. Yeah, provoking your connections is trying to manipulate them to get their opposite. If I wanted that, I'd just betray them. Okay, and direction. The wolf divided. Torment chaos with wolf divided. Capitute Garrus Galupium. Well, why not then? Why do I owe anyone anyways? This will cause suffering and destruction. The opportunity for profit. War in general. But yeah, we've already got bloody hell. 14 edge. We can just do this right. Oh, wait, the Cataclysms will be consumed, so that means I will still have to put my own back in. But okay, let's just work with the Chaos God, shall we? I mean, it's like one shade away from Khorne at this point. Uprising 6. Okay, so actually, we're gonna throw in the Huntress. Maybe she should. Well, let's just have her do the revolution. I think she'd appreciate it. She seems a bit old school, more monarchist than a modernist. And we'll just keep the cash flowing out while the lines stay up line. Okay? Yeah. Yep. Edge. Alright, so yeah. I'm not entirely sure why I keep doing this. I just do it. But the only thing we got a good friend out of here, the barber. But you know what? What we should do, let's toss in everybody that we want to increase their associate. Yeah. Let's see, increase their experience level. Because we can do that even if they don't actually contribute. Alright, let's find out here. We've got 2. Jennings, I think. Okay, I'm sending the proto-Nazi to overthrow the Soviet government. Alright, I don't even think about that anymore. I'm sure he'll enjoy his time there. Okay, Gregorio could probably throw in 2 for another experience point. We can increase him up to 9. Orsano, are you in for some revolution? It looks like it, actually. Alright, so the old team is getting together. I mean, we're getting some of the old team together in order to change history forever. Gods. I mean, when you do the wolf divided, you're not even picking a side. You're just actually deciding you want to destroy everything. Leave a smoking crater behind you. Because a god wills it. There you go. That's the part of the game where you wait for circles to complete. I'll be spending some time in Belgrade in order to be able to upgrade my people and hopefully do a little shopping. I don't see anything good over there. Basically not a lot. All right. Pause for a moment here. He's a smuggler. Of course he's going to be helpful for a revolution. You need your guns from somewhere, and you can't buy them off the shelf when you're playing. Oh, okay. Current situation in America difficult. If you do want a revolution, revolt against the government, you can buy your weapons off the shelf. God, we're such crazed people. Anyways, don't worry, we'll get you guys into in a little bit. Vazil, I know. You wanted to get involved. A little seduction. It works well. Getting some those secret plans up and running, but unfortunately, it will have to be next time, alright? Very soon now. Alright, there we go. We've set everything on fire. I like the fact that this woman here appears for everything we do, good or bad, in your opinion, or positive, negative. She's basically, I think, the harbinger of change, chaos. I mean, chaos is change for good or evil. Plans are laid, today will end in fire. Alright, cool. We should be leaving now. Alright, let's get started there. Try to get ahead of the whole situation. And we'll get another obscurity to actually replace the one we used. It's hilarious. Anyways. Alright, did you have fun? Stalingrad frames. Revolutionaries and counter-revolutionaries are fighting street to street. I should leave while I can. And my defiance... if I was going for the full part where I become a god, internal demigod of the edge, I've already got the 6 defiance I needed. But, this is just me, basically, so, look, but I'm not even, I'd be doing it for the, wolf, too, which is actually kind of fun. Which, basically means that we're not doing it for order or chaos, we're just doing it for destruction. And the ending on that one's pretty good. I don't know if I can actually do it. If I'd kept the foe alive to this point, I could have done it, but oh my god, that would have been a pain in the ass. Sometime in the future, perhaps. Sometimes, if you think about it, we'll actually consider false trail. It doesn't really matter. Nobody's coming after us. That's actually one of the primary reasons you do it. Is because once you burn down the town, it's hard for them to actually ask where you went afterwards. You kind of disappear among the refugees. Anyways, I will catch you on the other side. And X minutes later, because that took a while. Alright, so our band of 7, plus me, of course, is going to be heading off to Novengard. Novengard. Alright, pause. Enough the darkness into a new day. Okay, so that just means we've gone to remote space. That one, en route. Shushkin's people are wary, but one claps me on the shoulder when I mention my pursuers. He says something filthy about Reckoners that I pretend not to be offended by. Well, I'm not technically an offender anymore. Reckoner. And I did kill their boss, so it would be interesting if the game did change. God, it takes a second there. Alright, so what we got is Connection Underworld, and I believe, like I said before, there's not a lot here. I mean, the one item I can get I don't have is the Adept's Powder, which is the first level ingredient in for Forge. But you know what? We're doing the completionist run here, and I've got the cash. Might as well. Also, can we get a freaking mansion, please? Thank you. Probably not. This is post-revolutionary Russia. Yeah. We're lucky to get a warehouse. Alright, so meanwhile, we'll do a quick thing there looking for the powder, and of course we'll begin to find out where the heck we're going after this, because I have a spear that we're so far into the hinterlands at this point that I'm going to end up going into the cross country again. Alright, so yeah, there's probably lots of guns at this point. Hanging around. Revolutions will be like that. All of these weapons were liberated. Liberated, mind you, for the people, just somehow managed to end up being sold for profit. And we just got here and I'm already planning on leaving. Alright, so, sounds appropriate. Could use the underworld thing in a year if I really wanted to, or find an import license. I don't think you can import here. For some reason, they don't allow you to do importing in a non-port, which is a bit odd. I mean, Novigrad right here would obviously be bordering a lot of the um, natural resources that are located in the central and eastern section of the Soviet Union. Soviet Union at this time, not Russia. Let's see. Wounded Moon Lake is a lodge by a tiger-prowled lake deep in the Targa where I hunted in the days of the Tsar. Perhaps my foe wouldn't find me there if he does, and he's playing a stand. It's one of those remote places that you go to the world's end. It basically means that you're ending the game, which we are not doing here. And if I was going to end the game, the depths of Siberia is not where I retire to. Yeesh. It's just, no. I need a better place than that. I don't care how nice the house we can get there is. Probably can't even get a house. I mean, there are some people, I suppose, that they're disappearing into the brutal wilderness is their ideal, but I'm not among them. Persia. God damn it. Persia exists instead of Iran. Looking at this map sometimes just makes you realize how much things change, yet stay the same. There we go. Sophia the Barber used to buy life with me and her jewels. And with buy life from me with jewels in the city of Xerox. Basically, she bought the Cinder Tally, the life force we have in it. She turned strange and moved to another city, but she introduced me to some of her contacts back before the Civil War. Again, it's another remote zone. Another oh, we can burn this place down. Okay, great. I think we're just going to be turning Soviet Union apart, apparently. Good lord. Stalin does not know my name, but he should at this point. Yes, secretary. We don't know why this is all happening. It just seems there seems to be a group of 8 people who just wander in, buy a bunch of stuff, and then set the city behind them on fire. We're not exactly sure. We think they're capitalist dogs, but no, strange ones. Yes, any agent we send to them gets, well, eaten, sir. We don't like to ask questions. Yeah, those traces would probably be the God. Does KGB exist at this point, or is it like State Bureau Services, or God, what does it? It's kind of different titles, same operation. All right, so I mean, the FSB and the KGB kind of had a lot of similarities, right down to their leadership style. Anyways. One thing about one word I described the Russians slash Soviets would be inertia. The resistance to the concept of change. All these old shines to this kernel. That's why I love the fact is the kernel is a cult that establishes order and discipline and supports the current regime no matter what it is. But this regime hates religion. So I have no idea how they're relating to each other at this point. It's an interesting concept for like fan fiction. What it would be like to be these war cults in the middle of a modern day. Ah, there it is, the Scarred Lodge. The burnt out. Hang on 1 second. The burnt out hunting lodge at the edge of town, charred bones and carved into chess pieces and chessboards scored on the hearth. Yeah, it would definitely be the Colonel in that one. Colonel is all about tactics and strategy. Medical credentials. Come on, give me some goddamn exploding magic powder. I need something to spend my money on. The official connection. Yeah, bribing a Soviet clerk. I think you could do that with regular money, though. So it's probably an official. All right, quiet warehouse. Yeah, no thanks. The question is who that warehouse belonged to before it was liberated from the state. Liberated by the state. For the people, of course. And see, the thing is, a lot of people will say, well, Stalin didn't actually own anything or not much of anything. No, he just slept in other people's castles. Seriously. Because those are supposed to be for the people, yet, you know, I don't see the people shacking up in the Winter Palace anytime. Alright, so... Alright. So less useful and more of a trophy, really, at this point. Alright, let's go get the blasting powder. Then I think we'll take off. Wait, no, we have to burn the place down first. Alright, we'll give it a couple opportunities here. Alright, cool. Oh, and we got... Not sure why it would be that. I don't see any, Oh, why does Grail... Pitch just goes like a lightning struck thermite. Why would... the only reason I can think that would be Grail is that Grail is the release of energy, I guess. And it's kind of like explosions or the universe digesting things. I mean, technically, the sun is the digestion of hydrogen atoms for the purposes of creating heat. So, yeah, speaking of which, I should probably keep the cash coming. Alright. Radicals. There it is. There it is. That's all we need. Yeah, nothing else to do with the ears. So, let's do it again, shall we? Now, this time... Curious how it's going to go down. Ooh, we need to upgrade. Oh, we forgot to do upgradings. Oh, I'm so sad about that. Alright. Technically, we don't have to do the radicals immediately. We can do that at the end, but we'll probably try to get both done at the same time. Now, let's see. Let's see. Yep. You don't need it. You don't need it. I guess we're going with Vasil. You know, he needs experience. Dominique and Zutha. We have to go with her or me, so let's get that knocked out. All right, so first of all, yeah, actually, we'll just do it with me this time. So what we'll do is grab the radicals, grab Ebunky, grab Defiance to burn the place down, and Direction. Me. Wait, no, wait. Slot. Forge or Winter. Oh, okay. So, you know, we can use you. All right. So, Forge. Forge would be what I want to use, I'm guessing. And I could use the exploding thing, which is kind of funny. But, oops, notes. Alvingrad. There you go. Uprising. Now, if it did Winter, we'd be not supporting the Uprising. But yeah, it'll be messy, but it might make the world a better place eventually. Yeah, we're going to, again, start up a revolution against the nascent communist empire. All right, so let's get her knocked out. Okay, so we'll start with this. Well, you know, she gets an experience point. She's not going to be too upset about it. All right, so collect. Oh, actually, she doesn't, because now the next thing we have to do is we're going to toss in Uprising. I can single-handedly do this because with a 14 edge. Okay, so while that's going on, we'll get our people in place, and we probably should get the cash moving out. Always best not to keep your assets in a place where you plan on burning down. Just a thing that happens sometimes. Alright, so now what we want to do is take the newbie. You can do some deception, can't you? Right? You know, do some seduction, Basil. We don't have to worry about it. We'll run this one a little different than we usually do. Sigh. It's hard to keep the people. I mean, technically, I think we're some sort of divine anarchist at this point. Oh, God. The lantern person dying really messed us up, moralized, didn't it? Okay. Not to mention, this is her city we're burning down. And given that she's a devotee of chaos and change, I don't think she's actually going to be that upset about the whole process. All right, so, meanwhile, you'll continue to get those assets out of town. All right, so, Basil, there you go. Deep breath. Then we'll get Dominique. Possibly. She's got 4 at this point. 4, 4, 3, yeah. Possibly Dominikus would be next, I believe. He likes to beat things up. I'm going to let him beat things up. Some officials or something. Alright, so let's get this one snapped out. Orsana, let's get you upgraded, shall we? I think we've got time before we burn the place down. Alright, so Bright Edge. Excellent. And I believe you will be handling this part of the operation. Might actually get him to 12 winters. That would be interesting. Basically, I'm making him an avatar of the silent one. Hmm. War and death. I mean, war. It does seem to be my run at this time. So I've got to see what we can find. Sjevedonsk. Hmm. With the carved image, I think, however, that one we have. There's nothing big there. Ah, excellent. Yay! We burned another city down. Colonel's definitely not liking us. Loose ends. Subtlety wasn't my priority here. No, 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 it hasn't been for a while, I think. Return on my investment. Yeah, we actually made money on this, which is the terrifying part. Alright, so it's probably time to leave, shall we? Get another freaking obscurity on this one. Notice I don't know why we have this problem with Civil. Oh my god, we got 7 cash out of this. I'm just making so much money. I'm guessing Grigorne is doing this with all the money operations we're having. Me think about it. We're probably making some serious cash on moving the weapons into town. For both sides, of course, because we do not want to discriminate. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next end. Okay, finally, we have departed. Alright, let's pause a second. I think, yeah, the thing is it takes an extra cycle for whatever reason when you're doing a remote one. It gets to, oh god, old Russian trains. Zufia's friend is the commissar now. He'll see me right, he assures me, if I don't get into too much trouble. Haha, great, commissar. What's the thing? If you're on one side of the power structure, a minor op player, and the power structure suddenly flips, you're probably going to want an entry-level job, at least in the new one. 40 freaking items. Oh my god. Official connection. Yeah, I still have to bribe him, which is awesome. Oh, God. On brand. Yeah, okay. Probably should get that cash back. Then we'll start sending it to the next place. Now, actually, we're probably going to have to get our peeps redone a bit. And, again, unfortunately, I don't think while we're here in Sjevedonsk that there's much we can purchase, like, at all. It is remote. Look where we are. Oh boy. Do not know under... Okay, so, best bet, let's get... Who's next up? 3, okay, cool. Jennings, you had some fun there, right? Sigh. Yeah. Probably moving towards the next city. Don't know where the heck that's going to be. My guess is that we're going to end up in the wilderness again after we say no to the both remote exits. Again, the remote ones are supposed to be where you fight the foe alone, because if you summon the foe to a remote zone, what happens is that he'll honorably meet you alone rather than with an ally. But, 1-to-1 is just not going to do a great thing. Yes, very good. Very good. All right. Basil, I don't believe you're ready yet. Nope. Ah, but Lala is. Actually, I think... whoops, forgot to get the destination first. Once we get past Lala's here, the hard-faced Berber, we will probably move on. Grigorny doesn't really need that, but yeah, we've got 11, 7, 6 still. 9, and another 6, I believe. Oh, vitality. We could keep that one going. I can't put it anywhere. I have to actually connect it with a wound, do anything useful with it, so I'm just really feeling good. That's about it. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, from this point, we'll grab our destination, which could take a couple of runs here, as it tries to give us a remote one we don't want, and then we're going to have to basically travel across country across half the world, because Russian roads. Russian roads at 1925. Mostly cart trails at this point. Infrastructure is still an issue that Russia has now. It's one of the reasons why they're doing so poorly in Ukraine is they literally cannot get material there, if they can produce the material at all. The thing about Russia, it's a tragedy. They have all these natural resources, but they never develop them internally and usually export them. Alright. Oh. Used to supply prescribed materials to a Jadist Magus in Samarkand. Perhaps he still reminds me. Oh. That's cracker than I thought it was going to be. But this is still troubled. We all know what that means. Need to watch the world burn. While that's going on, you can become upgraded. How's that? Alright. I think Samarkand is this one right here. Or Samarkand? No, we'll find out shortly. Ugh. And then we'll start shipping cash to Samarkand again, per usual. Alright. Radicals? No. Give me radicals. Come on, pull that lever. 12 obscurity. Like, nope. Not even the Soviet intelligence agency knows who I am. We just wander around and cause things to happen. I'm tired. Perhaps think we'll always be tired. Well, you know, you had a busy life. Gotta say, at least you had some excitement while you were doing raising winds. Yeah, not really much of a stretch how that happens here. We are in the freaking steppes. Northern steppes, I might add. There you go. Can't really buy anything in Russia. That's... Think about it. Communists just took over. There is no market. Anyways, plenty of officials willing to sell out, though. Or actually soliciting bribes, and technically what it's called. But that's just doing business. Not just in Russia, in a lot of other places. Just sometimes the briberies... A few more steps, as Rick and Morty would say. Let's see. No, I don't need to buy a weapon. Thanks. Got plenty. Sure, I haven't killed anything in a while. And there's a couple missions where you do have to kill monsters. We've already been through one of them, I believe. Alright, 28. Wow. I mean, we're just making more and more profit by burning cities down in our wake. The wolf has been, you know, kind to us. So whatever part of the world we leave intact, we can live nicely on. Alright. Yeah, I'm looking for comfort items in Russia. Not the best place. Yes, I Google in Russia because I know it's USSR. I know we're going to end up a little bit like Kazakhstan. But, yeah. Those Orthodox domes. Ah, there we go. There. Get back here. There you go. Alright, we're doing our religious service. Okay, we just happen to be, you know, worshiping Fenrir. Which is one aspect of the dire wolf that we probably know from Norse mythology. Hey. Confusion. Alright, so let's get this baby rolling. Rosanna, I need you to set this up for me. Oh, wait. Ah. Let's burn Savonx down to the ground. Alright. Alright, so, you know, line up people, experience. We'll get the least experience this time. Alright. Okay. If Orasana's like has to do it every time. Alright, so yeah, okay. Deception again. Let's see, money again. Sigh. Sometimes you don't want to correct the world. I mean, Alfred was right. We just want to see the world burn. Alright, so you... There you go. That's Jenny. No, actually, just go with the people with the lowest numbers. How's that? She likes revolutions. Lots of hunting opportunities. You have 9, you have 11, you have 7, and you have 6. So you two will go next, Jennings and Vassal. And my restlessness. Apparently extremely restless. Like, you know, burning down cities to relieve my boredom. Sigh. One of the reasons I probably would pick the revolutionary one in Russia is that the government has never rewarded traitors well, even traitors in its employ. So many windows, so few windows, so many traitors to remove. All right, so Basil, go. Words or guns? Guns, always guns. Probably considering dread. I suppose I'm just my existential horror, but this is the game for existential horror, mind you. All right, so. Then we'll pop over to Summers Runner. Probably end the episode there. It's getting a little repetitive. Gotta figure out what I'm gonna to do. If I could control my destinations, trust me, I would. Because I'd probably get through what I wanted to do faster. But again, a comfort ending is not one you think that Russia would assist with. Sigh. Okay. Wait, Jennings? Alright, yeah. I was worried you wouldn't get your operation in there, but yeah. Uprisings against governments may be something you need. Around a beer hall. Just thinking. Don't know why that came to me. Beer hall push, by the way, if you want to look it up. Okay. Alright. Get that money out. I mean, can you imagine what the Russian banking interests look like at this point? Because I don't know if they're even allowed to exist. I guess we're probably just using the underworld market, and mostly they're doing it not ripping us off because we scared them incredibly. Just think about it. Demigod of War in his band of destruction. Alright, cool. Loyalty wasn't my priority. No. I don't think that this revolution that we're doing. Good lord, are we actually trying to bring the whites back into power? Are we actually going to like claim that woman, the woman who claimed to be Anastasia? Yeah, that's where the movie comes from. Disney movie comes. Anastasia of the Tsarist family. God, I forgot this last name. Who attempted to say that they were the rightful heir. It was, yep, revolutionists. Counter-revolutionaries will be leaving now. Excuse me. And of course, yeah, we're making way too much money doing this sort of thing. So yeah, like I said, we'll pop into our next target. Because I think this one looks troubled too. What's that? Am I correct about that? Yep. So another place we'll be leaving ashes behind us. That should be. I mean, it gets tiring after a while. It'll probably be the last place we do. We'll end up someplace a little more stable under the British Empire. Although I hear London's having issues. I would imagine even London having issues, the Empire itself would roll onwards for a good old while. I mean, the Russians have inertia, but the British, while they can't match the same amount of inertia, their empire did last a while. There was a time in which the sun did not set from one end to the other. That's not necessarily a good thing, mind you. I mean, it's one of the reasons why British standards are universal across the world, because, you know, if you come in with guns and say you're doing it this way, that's kind of the way people are going to be doing it. Alright, so, Grigori, just checking to see if anybody else is eligible for an upgrade. Yeah, Basil. Got time. Pull it off. I'm curious what his upgrade amount is. So we'll just do that, and like I said, then we'll skip ahead to the next part. Sorry, 30 seconds can seem so long when you're not really doing much with it. Ah, Limber. Not sure I want to know anything about that, thanks. Sometimes you don't want to know more about your agents' lives. 777, 11, 9, 9, and 6. You know, I could actually arrange these people. Sure. Alright, so it's like a status board here. There you go. It'll prioritize which ones we're going to be sending in to do the revolutions. I mean, the young kids need their experience. Although I'll probably have Zofia kind of wear a wig, where she's got kind of a leverage thing going here, or she'll be the grifter who walks in and takes control of the room under any femme fatale, because the wood is about Fae, and Fae are about seduction. It's one of the forms that they hunt with. I mean hunt. Don't think they see humans for the most part as equals. Probably a prey species. I'm just gonna eat you quickly. Anyways. Almost there on the next part, so I probably won't do a skip ahead. But yeah. So I kind of hope you enjoyed me watching, setting the 1925 Soviet Union on fire. I mean, I burned down the capital of the British Empire. It was only fair, and I can't get to Moscow on this one, which I find very upsetting. Stalingrad is the best I could do. It's like number 2 city. I mean, I know Moscow, I know Stalingrad, because those are the ones that are anglicized the most, but the others, not so much. Kursk, yeah, kind of been in the news a lot. So not in great shape at the moment. Alright, let's go. Okay, there we go. And departure. To another remote Russian location. Through the darkness into the new day. God, I'm gonna have 13 obscurity. My jaddist friend is bad with sorrow. He can barely speak, but I can count on his help. Ooh. Yeah, Soviets were not kind. When are they kind? Holy man. Maybe we'll make a religion with him. Anyways, where are we? Oh God. Metropolitan of the Conqueror Timur, the crossroads of the Silk Trade, the city of Hundred Faith. The Tsar is now the Bolsheviks that ruled here since Manak emirs were ousted. Yeah, that's what I thought. Southern aspect of the USSR was a lot of former Ottoman Empire locations. And yes, it does control the primary silk trade, by the way, which it does come to about through here, I think. Not that it's really as important these days because of flight and trains and such, but should the infrastructure ever come down again, it will be important again. Anyways, this is Fantastic Worlds and my commentary on the geopolitical structure of the world, and of course, you know, the random exploits of a bored demigod of war. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe. Now, again, I will only be continuing the series as long as we get numbers are good, and the numbers are starting to slip. So get prepared to have a new series in the slot at some point. Might come back to it like with Book of Hours every now and then, in between series, just to move things along a bit. But then keep in the comments down below if you want me to keep going. All right, so I'll see you next time. Bye. I'd like to thank my Acolyte level supporters whose contributions help this channel grow and hastens the inevitable digital apocalypse and rise of the Dark Lords of Content and Data.